Hello there. It is Jamila McMallow, and I am a mindset coach for women executives and entrepreneurs. I am so glad to be here with you all today to talk about the deceptive power of self awareness. So, I wanted to start off with sharing a story, okay, about this. So, recently I had a powerful coaching conversation with a woman, and I found myself holding back and not really um, giving her the feedback in the moment, as it was coming to me to express. I was holding back because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. And there were a number of reasons behind that. We had like a pre-existing relationship that, of course, I valued, and so I didn't want to, you know, affect that in a negative way. Um, and I also wanted to be nice, concerned about her feelings and things like that. But that's not what the call was about. That's not what the call was for. It wasn't about me, right? It was about her. But I made it about me. And so after that, as I dwelled on it, I was aware, I was self aware that I had held back, but I wasn't exactly sure what to do about it. And as I thought about it more, I'm like, you know what, I should reach back out. I should tell her, what it is really that, I should have said on the call. Well, I still reached out to my coach to help me because, again, I was aware of what the issue was. I was aware of even a potential solution, but I needed someone to help me implement, make the correction, make the adjustment, make the shift, make the switch. Me simply having an awareness of what the situation was, what I had done, where I'm still, doing that work on myself. It was neither here nor there. It was great for me, right? To become aware of the fact that, oh, what is this about? And why am I holding back? Is it that because this was complimentary? Because, when someone's paying me and I'm properly resourced, I show up in a totally different energy. And what I learned is it doesn't matter if I'm being paid or not, show up in that same energy because I am who I am all the time. And it doesn't help anyone if I do not tell them the truth as I see it, right? Because I was also acting outside of my business values. My business values are commitment, excellence, mastery, and trust. Trust. So my clients trust me, right? They can tell me whatever, fall apart, spill their guts, and they know it doesn't go any further. But they also have to trust me to tell them the truth, that I'm going to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, because that's not why they hired me. And like I said, yeah, if someone's paying me, yeah, I'm going to show up and do all that. But it doesn't matter if they're paying me or not. I still have to be who I am all the time because that's who I am. I am by nature a coach. I am by nature a healer. I am by nature empathic. It's who I am. And so for me to operate outside of out of that integrity, right? Outside of my business values, my values, as a woman, as a person, as a business owner, whatever. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's not okay. But self-awareness wasn't going to help me make the change or the shift to make sure I don't do it again. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we're not even aware that there's a challenge or an issue until we're in a situation that reveals itself. But then once it reveals itself, what do we do then? Now, thankfully, I have an amazing coach. I'm working one-on-one with Linda Hales. And it's so funny because, yes, she keeps it real. But I'm like in this place in my life where I'm 44 years old, so I don't give a flying hootenanny when nobody thinks about nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can think whatever you want about me. And so I am willing to take her coaching. Like, I'm wide open for it. It's like, I receive it all. So there's nothing that she has said to me that has hurt my feelings, that has been like, dang, wow, I didn't, none of that, because I'm open. I want to receive what she's giving me because I want to make the shift. I know that I have an awareness of what I can see, but I don't have an awareness of what I can't see. And I don't have the awareness to be able to consistently be able to make my own shifts around things that pop up unexpectedly. Well, why is that still happening? Why is this still an issue? Why is this still a challenge? And so she was able to help me very quickly work through that. And so that's the power of having someone help you, an expert assist you in conjunction with your self-awareness. Okay. But the reason why self-awareness can be so deceptive, especially for high-performing, overachieving women, is because we have a tendency to want to figure it out ourselves, to want to excel, to want to prove that we have got it. We can do it. We've done it. Okay. And we may not consciously be saying that, right? We, again, have enough awareness to know that we want to grow, that we want to develop, that we want to do this personal development thing. But at the same time, we sometimes can find ourselves being closed off and not completely open to receiving what could potentially allow us to grow even further, because we feel like, oh, I already know that, or, oh, I've already got that. Oh, I don't need that help. One of the funniest things, women, I'll have conversations with women, outside of the one I share with you, but, we'll be talking and they'll say, oh yeah, I don't need your services, but I have a friend, or this, that, and the other thing. And in our conversation, because you, like I said, I am who I am all the time. I can hear, I'm like, okay, that's fine if that's what you want to believe, but could I provide you with some assistance? Absolutely. Because I can already see some things, but it's not up to me, right? I'm not in the business of coaching people who don't want to be coached. And I'm also not in the business of coaching people who have not given me their permission. Okay. So circling back to my story, I'm the type of person my whole life, I used to just tell people what I ascertained from, because I am who I am all the time. And especially when I was younger, I didn't know this was a gift, that I could really see right into people or whatever, and be able to just reflect back to them what it is that they needed to hear. I didn't understand that. No. They have to be open to hearing it. And so I stopped doing that. So I don't tell people what they need to hear unless they've given me permission to do so, unless they have said it's okay for me to coach them or to give them that feedback. So that is a background story that I have of being that person who was constantly told, oh, you're so opinionated, or, oh, well, you think you know everything, or, oh, well, all of that. And so when you hear that, it causes you to second guess yourself and to hold back. And so even though here I am, I'm in the business of telling women the truth so that they can experience a transformation, I, in that moment, held back because that old story showed up that I'm self-aware of. But again, like I said, I had someone there to help me work through it so that I was able to make the adjustment, make the correction, and move forward. Because I get that, no, I don't have it all together. No, I don't have it all figured out. Not at all. Oh my gosh. And yes, even if I've been doing this for years, spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours talking and coaching women through all kinds of situations, that there is still room for growth for me. And that's what I love, about being a coach, is that you're coaching people, but you're coaching yourself too. And so you're growing right along with your clients, and so that's why I just wanted to share that with you, is because it's not like I'm telling you, hey, self-awareness, it's not a good thing. I'm self-aware, but listen, we all do it. And I know because I just told you. And had I not had a coach, I wouldn't have known exactly how to navigate differently the next time, so that this doesn't come up, or when I feel it come up, I'm like, that's what this is. So that's a clue for me to step forward. My coach, Linda Hill, she's so funny. She tells the story about the elephant in the room. Like if your client has an elephant in the room, get on the elephant and ride the elephant. And I love that because it's so true. And so sometimes you just need somebody to give you permission to do what it is you already knew you were supposed to be doing, right? Because remember I shared with you, I was self-aware. Okay, I held back. Then I said, okay, I need to circle back and tell her, but I still hadn't done it. And she gave me permission to do what it was that I already knew I needed to be doing, but wasn't going to do if somebody didn't tell me. Or sometimes you question yourself, was that the right thing to do, right? So again, self-awareness sometimes can make you believe that you got it all figured out, that you got it all together, that you are in control of the situation. And when we, as high-performing, high-achieving women, are dealing with a perceived mistake or error in judgment or whatever we've made, it hits us a little bit harder than maybe the average person because our standards are high. Remember my business values? Oh, hey, thank you, Julie. Remember my business values? Commitment, excellence, mastery, trust, excellence. Excellence to me means high standards. It means luxurious. You can even call it bougie, whatever. But it means high standards. And that's the standard that I hold myself to. And so high performing, high achieving women, yes, we have high standards for ourselves, most importantly. And when we don't live up to our own expectations, or when there is a potential looming mistake or something that maybe we didn't do right, it's a big deal to us. It's a big deal to admit that to ourselves because it is so critically important that we do everything right and just so. So when we are caught up in being self-aware, what we're not really focusing on is what are we doing about the actual challenge or issue? Because that's actually what should be our focus. It's not a matter of just having an awareness of what needs to be done. That's great. But what are we doing about it? And what we need to do about it, often we cannot do on our own by ourselves through the DIY route that we like to take, because again, we need to prove that we can do it ourselves, because for us, somehow that indicates how strong we are, or whatever it is about that, whatever the story is that we have within ourselves. But the truth is the only thing we can really do on our own is that self-awareness. Unless we have, some tools in our arsenal, yes. But when it's something that's deeply entrenched, when it's something, hey, I am Ali. I'm actually here in Nevada. When we are strongly entrenched in a way of thinking and being, when we are stuck in a story about who we believe we are, about who we believe we're allowed to be, what we're allowed to have, what we're allowed to achieve, we can't see beyond that. So our awareness is limited to the box, to the constructs and the limits that we're living in, okay? And so that's that deceptive power. So we think we got it all figured out, like we know it and all those things. And the truth is we don't. And how do we know that we don't? Because our results will always tell us if we have solved the issue. Our results. So my results were, from the story I shared, when she shared with me what she got out of the call, that told me that I had not done my job. My results, really her results from our interaction, told me that I had not done what I said I was going to do. And so I had to make that correction, like I said. So as I mentioned previously, definitely in my business, in my practice, I don't coach women who are not open to being coached, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I talk to tons of women who want to be married again, who want to be happily in a happy, healthy relationship with a good man, who've been through a divorce. See, when I first started my business, that was like my focus area, on helping women who had been through a divorce to succeed in a new relationship, not women to get through their divorce. Okay, no, I need women who had grieved and all those things. Yes, the work that we do together was going to help them heal some wounds that were caused by that marriage and their ex-husband. But no, I'm not a divorce coach. Never was, never will be. And so what I'm trying to tell you is I would be talking to women who, here they are, you know, in their 50s or whatever, divorced. They want to be in a new relationship, but they had all this negativity around, you know, being in relationships with men. You know, they didn't want to necessarily, they wanted to be in a relationship, but they didn't because they had a lot of fear around it. And so the issue was they really weren't willing to listen to the fact that this ain't about your ex-husband. This ain't about how he did you wrong. This is about you getting real with you and asking yourself, what was wrong with me that I was drawn and attracted to him in the first place, that I stayed and ignored red flags? These are questions I had to ask myself when I went through the end of my first marriage, when I went through my divorce. So I'm not talking to you from somebody that done read a book and is teaching you something. I'm speaking to you from my experience. And so what I'm saying in this scenario, when I'm talking to these women, they weren't trying to hear that. They weren't trying to hear that they were the one that needed to change if they wanted to move forward and get what they wanted, which was to have a happy, healthy relationship with a good man, that they were the only person that they could control. And so they had to change how they were showing up, how they thought about men, okay, how they viewed themselves, all of that. They didn't want to hear that. They wanted to get plastic surgery and complain and jump into online dating when they done no healing, you know, all this kind of stuff. And so I say all that to say that I don't coach women who are not open to being coached. Remember I said I don't coach people who don't give me permission? Because just like I have given every coach I've ever worked with permission to tell me the truth, to reveal my blind spots to me, to show me so that I can make change and grow and become better and show up better, not just in my business, because this is the beautiful thing about being in the personal development space, is that when you become better, when you grow, it affects your relationships, it affects your business, it affects your money, it affects everything, because it changes who you are, changes who I am being, and so therefore how I'm showing up in everything that I do. So you always have a choice. You always have a choice whether to receive what someone is giving you, to find the value in it, to allow it to help you make a shift or a transformation, or you can choose to reject it, get defensive, make excuses, and stay stuck in your story. Because that's the truth of what we're all dealing with as our story, that medley of limiting beliefs and conditioning and messaging that we received as children that we can't see outside of, that we need somebody outside of us to help us break out of that, so then we can become who it is we really desire to be. Okay? So again, just to kind of recap, self-awareness is deceptive because it can cause you to truly believe that you've somehow figured it all out and arrived. All self-awareness is exactly what the word says. You're simply aware of what the challenge or the issue is, but you probably don't know how to solve it. And it's okay that you don't, because if we were all capable of solving our own problems as individually within ourselves, no profession would exist. No profession would exist, because none of us would need help. We'd all have it all figured out. We'd be doing everything for ourselves. And that's just simply not the case. And so a big part, the second step of self-awareness, when you become aware, the second step that's the biggest challenge for us high-achieving, overachieving women, is to not only seek the help, right? To make that commitment to continue to hold ourselves to that standard of excellence, and know that that excellence doesn't require perfectionism. It doesn't require us individually to have all the answers. To embrace the mastery, of our emotions, knowing that that gives us our power and that that's not a weakness. And then finding the person that we can trust to help us move through the issues and challenges that we can't see. And even the ones that we can, help us to move past it so that we can step into the version of ourselves that's already there, but that we on our own can't get to because we can't get out of our own way, out of our own story. So that is the deceptive power of self-awareness. And I hope that you got some value out of this video today in this understanding. As I said, I work with women executives and entrepreneurs that are willing and open and ready to be coached so that they can create their dream life by healing their childhood trauma. Because listen, all roads lead there, right? So if you would love to chat with me one-on-one, you are more than welcome to book a call with me. Otherwise, feel free to let me know your thoughts on this video if you're watching the replay, because I'd love to hear from you. All right. So thanks for tuning in. For those of you who watched live and for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you for watching as well. I will see you next time.